Hello everyone, thanks for watching this video. So in this video today we are going to understand how to find the middle element of even singly linked list. Okay, in the previous program number 6 of the same playlist, we understood that how to find the middle element of a odd singly linked list, and here we are going to understand how to find the middle element of even singly linked list. Okay, so the same process, only is the thing is that to identify the singly linked list is even. Okay, so first task is to create the singly linked list. Create the singly linked list. Okay, after creating, second task is to load the data into singly linked list. Third task is to do the connection, okay, of node. After doing the connection, just for verification, we need to display the singly linked list. Okay, after displaying, fifth, we have to get the length of singly linked list. Okay, after getting the length, identify whether singly linked list is even or not. Okay, if even, then we have to get the middle index, not element. First we have to get the middle index. After getting the middle index, we have to get the middle element. Okay, so here we are going to do total 8 tasks. Okay, first task is to create the singly linked list. Second task is to load the data into the singly linked list. After loading, we have to do the connection. After connection, we have to display, make sure that everything is fine. Then we have to get the length of the singly linked list. After getting the length, we have to identify whether it is even or not. If it is even, then we have to get the middle index value. Okay, once we get the middle index value, then we have to get the middle element with respect to middle index value. Okay, so let's start then. First task is to create the singly linked list, and we know that how to create. Private static class node okay, we can have list node also. Okay, here we are going to declare two private variable. Private int, since this is a integer type linked list, data private, second one is reference of the next node, which we are calling as a next. Okay, so we declare two private variable. Now chance to initialize, and for that we are going to declare one constructor, public list node, and here we are receiving argument as a integer data from user. Okay, and we have to initialize this dot data equal to data, and this dot next equal to null, since by default the reference of the next node is null. Okay, good. So we are done with the first task. Second task converts we are going to do into the main method. Okay, so here our main method is. In that main method we are going to load the data, and for loading, how we are loading we know, right? So to load the data, and we know first node is also called as a head, so head equal to new list node. Okay, and the data we are going to insert as per the our PPT. Okay, if you see this PPT, this is the even singly linked list which has total 1 2 3 4 5 6 node, means length is 6. Okay, and to find the middle index of the any even thing, this is mathematical thing. Okay, not from the data structure. Okay, if you want to get the middle index of the even thing, then always middle index will be 2. Suppose that you have something is 6 things. Okay, if you see here you have total 6 node, and among this 6 node I want to get the middle index 3 3, then we can say there is no middle index. But if we are forced to get the middle index, so what we will do, we will get one index 3 and another index 4. So we are going to divide actually 2 node. Okay, so like that we are finding the middle index of the any even things. Okay, so to get the middle index of even, always the middle index number will be 2 for any sequence, any series or anything. Okay, so suppose that you have total 40 things, something is 40. Okay, in that you are forced to get the middle index. How you are going? 40 divided by 2 means 20. You don't have any chance to get the middle index. Since you are forced to get that, so you want to pick the 2 element. So 40 divided by 2, 20. So 19 plus 19, 38. So 20 and 21st position is your middle index, right? So like that we are finding the middle index. So for even things, middle index will be always 2. So for this linked list, if you are seeing, it has total 6 node where the middle index is 3 and 4, and with respect to we have 30 and 40 available on the node 3 and 4. So we are going to insert the same data 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Okay, so here data goes as a 10. Okay, now 20, now 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, and this is head node. Head means first node. We can say this one is second node. Okay, and this one is third node. This one is fourth node, and this one is fifth node, and this one is sixth node. So we can able to have total 6 node which is even. Okay, now we are done with the loading the data. That is our second task. Third task is to do the connection. How we are doing connection? We are doing the connection from head to first node. Head means first node to second node. Okay, sorry, head dot next equal to second node. Sorry, second node. Second dot next equal to third node. third dot next equal to fourth node, fourth dot next equal to fifth node. Okay, and fifth dot next equal to sixth node. Okay, and this is the last node. There is no chance for 6 and 7. So we are able to do the connection between all the nodes. Now our next logic is to display the singly linked list. To display the singly linked list, we should have the method created for that, means our business logic. So dot display. Okay, and here we are going to pass argument as a head. Okay, good, and accordingly we have to create the method here. Okay, so as soon as we created the method and we are receiving the user input, our responsibility is to secure the data which is coming from user. So for that we are going to create the local variable called current. This is current node. Now our logic is to write for display, and for display we are going to get the node from first to till last and we are going to display. So how we are going to, we got the first node, that is not an issue, but how we are going to make sure that we reach the last? For that we already know the last node, the reference of the next node will be always null. So we have to travel until we have not reached the null. Okay, and how to travel? And we have to print the data. So to print the data we have to say like that, and which each and every node we should have one separator to identify, and I want everything to be printed into the same line so it's easy to understand. Okay, good. Now we are able to print the data. And how to move from one node to another node? The node movement. So for that, current equal to current dot next. So we are moving from one node to another node. So as soon as we are coming out of this loop, we are reaching the last node of the singly linked list, and our responsibility is also to print the last node. Okay, so this is good. Now somehow we are able to get the display also. If you right click run as Java application, we will be able to get the data 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So we are receiving all the data correctly, and which is all interconnected correctly also as per this PPT. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. So we are good now. Now our main responsibility is to get the length. Okay, and we know how to get the length. Again we have to create the method only. So for that we are going to create the method called length. Okay, and accordingly we are going to create the method. Okay, good. Now again we are receiving the user input, so we are going to secure this one as a variable name as current. In that current, again we are going to traverse through while loop from one node to another node, and we know how to travel. So for that we are traveling from one node to tail end. Tail end means the node should not becomes to null. Okay, so we are reaching till null. Okay, so if you are watching this video, I really recommend you to watch the program number 6 before that, since I already covered these are all topic in program number 6 and from 1 to 6 also. Okay, so we are here in till length. Good. So we don't want to print, we are just doing the movement, and we know that how to doing the movement. Current equal to current dot next. Okay, So as many times we are going to do the movement, we are going to have one counter variable increase. Okay, so here we are going to initialize the value as a 0. Okay, int counter equal to 0. Okay, good. Now so this counter is getting increased. Since this is the length, so I should be able to do some return type. So I am expecting here as a int, since length is int only. So I am returning here this counter value. Since this counter value have all the movement captured by this one. So how many times this code got triggered, that many times this counter value also got increased by 1. And as soon as we are coming out of this loop, so this counter is exactly have the value how many times this code got increased, means this movement happened. So you can actually print this one. Since this is a returning int, so we can save this one as a integer type called length variable. Okay, and we can say that length of singly linked list is, what is length, we can get it now. Now right click, run as Java application. If you see this one, your length is 6. Good. Now our 5th task is done. Now 6th task is to identify whether singly linked list is even or not. How we are going to identify? We are checking that if length m%2 equal to 0. Okay, means singly linked list is even, else singly linked list is odd. Okay, good. Now right click, run a Java application, just to make sure that this logic is correct. So our singly linked list is even. If you comment this one, okay, then probably it will give you the odd if everything is fine. So odd. So our logic is still not correct. So we are working for even. So I am just doing the uncomment here. Now our all the logic goes here only. Okay, 6 done. 7th is that get the middle index value. Now this one is the more important thing. Okay, as I already told you, for odd sequence, odd series, or odd anything, getting the middle is very easy. Okay, just divide by 2. This will divide by 2 plus 1, give you the middle index, since it has middle index basically. But for even thing also we have the middle index, but that number of index will be a 2. Okay, not 1. So as I already show you here, if you see this PPT, it has total 6 element, and among these we have total 2 middle element. First one is the 3rd index and second one is the 4th index, and 3rd index we have value as a 30, whereas 4th index we have value as a 40, right? So for also, now our next challenge is to find the 2 middle index. Okay, now how we are going to find this one? So to find this one, we can say int first middle index. Okay, and same way we can have second middle index. Okay, and first middle index will be same, length divided by 2, length divided by 2, have one bracket so it looks good. Anyhow we are doing one operation. And second is 2 plus 1. Okay, now I have SOP here. Check this one. First middle index. Okay, second middle index. This one is first. Good. Now right click, run that Java application just to make sure that we are receiving 3 or 4 or not. See 3 and 4, which is correct. You see 3 and 4, we have total 2 middle index, which is perfectly fine. So we are good till now. You need to understand the approach how I am using. Okay, good. Now we got the middle index. Now get the element with respect to this middle index. Okay, now question is how we are going to get the element. So for that again we are going to write the same logic as per previous program only, but 2 times. Okay, so here we are going to say get middle element. Okay, and we are going to pass 2 arguments. First one is the head and second one is the index. Okay, so you can say index also. Good, and accordingly we have to create this one. So we created here. Okay, now question is how we are going to get the middle index. What will be the logic? Logic is same as per previous program only. We are receiving head and we are receiving the index. See, either it is odd or it is even, doesn't matter here in this logic. It's just that it's index. There is nothing called odd index and even index. It's just index. Only thing is that odd things happen one index and even things will be contained 2 index. That's, but at the end it will be index only. Okay, don't be confused. So we are receiving head. We can have one local variable name as a current, and we can say that index, nothing called first, nothing called middle. Okay, so sorry, good, we reach again here. Okay, fine. So now again the same logic, we are going to check the null. Okay, if equal to null means the head what we are receiving from user, if it is null, then I can say the singly linked list is not exist itself, means length is 0. Length is 0 means nothing exists. Okay, so in that way I am just creating one counter variable. I will tell you why. Okay, then I am saying this counter is basically the indexing. I am just trying to capture the index through this counter variable. If nothing is there, then I can say index equal to 0. Okay, since this is not array, okay, here index will start from 1 only. Okay, else I can say, see, head I am receiving, I am checking null. If it is null, then 0. If it is not null, then I will give you the guarantee that the singly linked list contain at least or minimum 1 node. Maximum will be anything, but the guarantee is that it has 1 node. So for 1 node I would say that okay, index will be 1. Later we have to know that how many index is there, how many elements are there, that we will traverse and got to know. And now how we are going to traverse? So for that we are using a while loop, that we are using while loop, we are going to traverse from head node to last node. So last node means, how we are going to identify last node means it should not reach the null. Okay, so we are here. Now we are going to traverse. Okay, so how we are going to traverse? Current equal to current dot next. This will only give you the traverse logic from one node to next node. Good. Now my question is, how many times I am traversing, that many times I want my counter to be increased. Why? Since counter only I am capturing the index, my intention to capture the index. So as soon as I will reach this index, okay, if counter equal to index that I am receiving from user, then please get me the value of the node. Okay, so value of the node is nothing much, middle element, and that is current dot data. Okay, good. Now if you run this one as a Java application, you will be seeing something. Middle element is 30, which is 30. Now for our reference we can say 30 at index, which index value, either you can print counter or you can print the index, both are same, means both are executed same number of times. Okay, now right click, run a Java application. So if you see middle element 30 at index 3, but we have to print for index 4 also. No problem, we just call this method 2 times. Okay, here first we are passing at the first middle index, and second we will pass as a second middle index. Okay, copy this one also. Actually this logic we are doing here, so this one. Okay, fine. Okay, now if you run as a Java application, if you see, this is your linked list. It has total 6 elements, that's why size is 6. Since size is 6 means this is a even singly linked list. Since this is a even singly linked list, so it should have 2 index. So one index is 3, one index is 4. 3 and 4, if you see 2 element here, 2 element here, so 3 and 4 is the middle. Now for third position element will be 30 and fourth position element will be 40. That is only our expected output. Okay, so let me summarize you again. Okay, our responsibility is to get the even singly linked list middle element. So in order to get the middle element from the even singly linked list, we have to create the singly linked list. That is our first task, and we created. Second task is to load the data. We loaded the data. Okay, after loading the data, we have to make a connection or establish a connection between each and every node. So we made a connection here, that is also done. As soon as we did these two operations, our task is to see the changes. So for that we wrote the display logic. Okay, so we are able to view the data of singly linked list. So as soon we got the view of the data, our next task is to get the length. So we get the length into the same way, like we have to traverse and increase the counter variable. As soon as while loop got in, I am returning the counter. This counter is able to capture all the movement of the one node to another node. So we are able to done with length. Okay, so now next task is to identify the singly linked list is even or not. So I just got the length, then length m%2 equal to 0, then I can say it is even, or else it is a odd singly linked list. Now our main focus is on even part. Okay, that's why I'm just not bothering about the odd. Odd we already covered into the previous example, that is program number 6. Okay, good. Now since this is even, so it has total 2 middle element. First middle element is length divided by 2 and second element is length divided by 2 plus 1. So we got the first middle index, second middle index. Now our responsibility is to get the element from this index and this index. So for that we wrote the get middle element logic here. So we are receiving head and the index value from the user. So this is the index and this is the current. So I am doing the movement. Okay, so in that moment I am checking if the counter, means this is index, is equal to user index, then please get me the value. Okay, and this is I am preparing the good output. Okay, but this is first logic. Second logic here is since in order to get the counter, so as soon as I am receiving the head, I am checking it is null or not. If it is not the null, then I can say that okay, it has minimum one number of node. Maximum could be anything that we are already captured through this while loop, but minimum is 1. That's why the initialization goes as a 1, not 0. Okay, this is only here trick part. Okay, now we get the middle element at index this one, so index this one. Fine. So this is only our logic. So we got 2 middle element, means 2 index value, and we are passing this as a 2 times. You can do one thing, you can create one array where you can pass this 2 and you can have one for loop. So we can call one method 2 times. This is your customization of code, how we are going to do. But my logic is very simple. I just want you to tell you how basically it works. It's your responsibility. You can customize however you want. Okay, so this is the logic. This I am triggering 2 times same method with the 2 different indexing value, first index and second index, first index and second index with the same head, means same linked list, and I am able to get the data here, which is as expected. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching this video.